First submission of the day, Kaden Vieira. She's Silver Hanamura. Match was played 2 days ago. This is the best quality I can get, so if you're wondering, it doesn't get any better than that, which is fine. That's not a big deal to me, but we'll do our best with it. Looking at positioning, target selection, reloading, ability usage, graviton usage, beam grenade discipline, all that jazz. Okay, very good first bubble. I didn't like. Good thing I rewinded, so we can see that. This right here is a like just in case bubble, right? Fair is challenging the 1v1, so Zarya gives her the bubble to try and give her the advantage to try and catch that Fair out. That's a totally fine bubble because by the time you reach the choke here, you'll have that bubble back. So that's perfectly good. The only like in hindsight you could have like, hey Anna, I'm gonna bubble you, take some grenades, but it's really not that big a deal. Like that bubble on Fair is perfectly fine. Okay, good charge. So yeah, just a tiny mistake right here. So you were at about 15 energy, so you know at 55 energy your bubble will pop, or after 2 seconds, or once this like aura goes away. So once that happens, don't eat any more free damage because then you're just feeding over alt charge. So right here, you see the aura disappeared from the corners. That means you don't want to eat the Symmetra orb because you're just feeding over damage at that point. Let's look at this. I probably wouldn't have done that just because she's off on the side. Everyone's shooting at you. She's not getting any free spam. I probably would have done, you know, communicated like, hey D.Va, I've got a bubble for you. You can fly in and bubble you, or get up in their face and bubble you, sort of thing. But since she's off on the side, out of the way, I don't think you'll get value out of this bubble. But maybe I'm mistaken. 33, 32, 31. Nope, you didn't. See, like right now, like this is just kind of a miscommunication between you and the D.Va. Right now she's going in after you bubbled her, which is unfortunate. Yeah. Oh my God. All right, let's look at what happened here. So D.Va went in. You personal shielded really early, right? And you can kind of see you personal shielded when Orisa's not even looking at you. This is going to be kind of rough on pot player. I have a 2-second rewind, but YouTube I think is built in as 5 seconds. I still fall back to over reloading, but I think I've gotten a bit better. Yeah, so far the reloading's been good. Yeah, so right there you bubbled, and clearly Orisa and everyone's looking at D.Va, so I probably would have held the bubble. I think I personally, just depending, like with my own aim, I would have started grenading the Symmetra instead of using beam, just because she is like such a little target, just kind of like baby D.Va. So I probably would have started grenading her feet, knocking her around. We don't have any charge, which is unfortunate, but that would be, you'd probably be doing just a little more damage. Uh-oh. I think we're dead here. Yeah. So we also overextended a bit with personal shield. So right here, we get personal shield back. Right, we're going in, we're fighting. Moira's healing us. We're taking Junkrat grenades, trying to fight Symmetra. And then right when the shield's gone, we keep going in when we need to exit now. So that's the positioning mistake here. Got to play around those cooldowns. We got charge from the shield, which is good, but don't have the support because your team, they can't follow into this, right? Moira can't reach you with her healing. Anna could be somewhere hitting you with healing darts, but Orisa and Junkrat are really just holding the door, right? You can see right here the Symmetric and the Symmetra 2 is Symmetra turret, so a bit overextending here, which leads to, you know, us dying.
I'm gonna dive the point, hopefully that'll make them scatter a bit.
Okay. They are backing up a bit.
Okay, good bubble. Right, that look at the communication, right? D.Va says I'm going in. Zarya moves into position to bubble the D.Va diving in. So that's a lot better. You know, that's the kind of communication you want, you know, when you're looking for those, you know, tank aggressive tank bubbles. Perfect, right? This is another good personal shield. You're bubbling when you clearly have Orisa's attention versus some of the bubbles we saw before. So you have her attention, she feeds you the charge, and now you're just melting her, building up ult charge. So that was much better personal shield. That's probably the best one we've seen so far. Now, so target selection is what's going to come in for the rest of this fight. Moira's dead, which is a huge pick. Orisa's dead. I don't think the enemy Junkrat's dead. So Junkrat, Pharah, and Symmetra are still alive. Good bubble on D.Va, right? You see Pharah is on the D.Va. D.Va's half out of mech. One rocket kills her, so that's a good bubble there. Using a bunch of offense alts. Yeah, your team kind of got really like scattered on the way in. Or really grouped, I should say, excuse me. So right here, right, your team's trying to assess the threats. There's Pharah. Where's Junkrat? Junkrat. I don't know where Junkrat is. You hear Genji on the right over here. I probably would have called that out. Genji on the right. You know, he dashes in. Look at this clump for Genji, man. He's gonna get a reset off this, get a reset off her, probably kill this. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of you, but this Genji. I mean, none of you can fight the Genji really, except the Moira. So that's just Genji taking advantage of this situation. Yeah, perfect. Exactly what I said, right? The double kill. On the bright side, you got out 2 offense ultimates, which is good. So. Yeah, if you're trying to get spam from a Pharah, the rockets have a travel time. You know, this is, you know, just kind of to state the obvious. The rockets do have that travel time, so just wait for her to shoot a rocket at you, like 100%. She's shooting a rocket at you, and then use the bubble, right? Because she's shooting at these two, and then we use the bubble, and when she's not shooting at us. So now, and we're already at the door, so we have to wait the 10 seconds before we can really do anything because we just used this bubble. It's actually 12 seconds because the 2-second bubble duration and the 10-second cooldown.
Yeah, my ult's not close enough to
Yeah, see that right here? That's the 10-12 seconds because of the last bubble. Let's look at this one. Yeah, she is weak. I'll give you that. Yeah, she's weak. Like if she dies, then you have to wait all over again. I mean, Moira already died too, actually, so you guys have to wait anyway. So right here is kind of a poke phase. I probably would have... that bubble was fine, but you really need to get value out of this personal shield to take advantage of this lull because Moira died.
How close were you to D.Va ball?
Okay, really good. That was good. They used the bongo. You got some charge. Oh, your Junkrat just baited you so hard, right? Again, this is communication. Your Junkrat's running forward. As Zarya, like, what are you doing? You're gonna die? Because, like, I thought he was just gonna run up to the door, 100%. I thought he was just gonna run up there and die. But he sidesteps because he knows what he's doing as a DPS, unfortunately. So we just got baited there for the Junkrat. Oh, you say you were trying to bubble Moira here? I don't even see a Moira. Oh, you can't bubble Moira because she just died. Okay, that's a good heads up play. You guys can't see it there. The Moira's skull icon is right here. She died to the Pharah poke. So Kaden in chat is saying she was trying to bubble the Moira. There's just too many people in the way. So yeah. So take back what I said. That would have been, yeah, you know, that's a good awareness. That would have been a great heads up bubble in order to, you know, save your Moira protector. And then right here we get baited by Junkrat, and then, you know, when your tank ally is going in, that's when you say, oh, your bubble's down. Like, right when you bubble Junkrat, your D.Va should see the bubble. Okay, my Zarya doesn't have projected barrier. And they either need to wait or, you know, change their plan accordingly. But your D.Va still goes right in, even though you don't have bubble. Right. Just super unfortunate miscommunication from the 2 tank players.
She's up there,
Okay, that was really good. Yeah, your Junkrat's obviously frozen because of... is that Junkrat? Well, whoever that is. Pharah's focusing them. You do a good job of A, killing the Pharah, B, protecting that person. I think you're tunneling... Ooh, is that Symmetra? I feel like it's Symmetra in there. I feel like you're tunneling on Symmetra a little bit too much. So here's why. You have personal shield back, which is good. You're going to have projected barrier back in what appears to be 3 seconds. It's kind of hard to tell from the film. But when you go in here, you have to make sure to come back when those 3 seconds are up so you can bubble someone in this fight. Now, the reason why I say you're kind of tunneling her is because you're at 60 energy with personal shield. This Orisa's probably going to feed you the next 40, so you'll be at 100. At 100 charge, you're going to melt this Orisa. And she just placed the Orisa shield, so she's not going to be able to move it. So if you walk through the shield, she either has to back up into her team, which means you're just going to melt her, or she has to plate kite the shield, which means she has to walk through the shield into your team. So I think this would have been the... And she already used Fortify, so Fortify is already counting down. Don't get me wrong, you kill whoever this is, it's a Hanzo, so it's not like you're not being useful here. I just think between the two things, this would have been a little better. I don't know, Diva's usually the one you'd expect to go after Hanzo, and Diva's out of mech. It's a bit of a toss-up, but you're still making the most of it. Right, everyone just melted Orisa, so that I mean, it's all working out, so it's not like you did anything bad. Just, you know, kind of in the future, just weigh your targets, because he was off in the side room too, which means he doesn't really have an angle to shoot at the rest of your team. I mean, I'd say, you know, you did a good job. I mean, you guys pushed this point well. The Pharah misplayed, your Diva misplayed, your Junkrat had a good tire. Kind of a combination of things, and you guys took this first point. Alright, we've got... Okay, so we have Graviton and Self-Destruct, and the only shield that they have is Orisa. So really, the ideal play here is you watch Orisa, you see it when she places her shield, that means she won't be able to move the shield, and then you guys grab Self-Destruct combo, and none of them will be able to survive. But if you time it incorrectly and Orisa is going to have her shield cooldown back, Orisa will just move the shield and protect everyone from the self-destruct unless your Diva places it like perfectly on your Graviton. So that's really the best play that you have here. You could also Nano Visor. You don't want to use all 4, right? These are 2 different combos. 1, 2. So let's see how you guys play this. There we go.
Yes. We have grab.
Yeah,
Diva and I can combo.
Yeah, why don't you guys combo first and then I can do cleanup.
Yep. Diva, you're in mech still, right?
You guys go,
okay.
Go in center then, so they don't think we're going up top right. I mean, now go top right, you guys go first, you guys go center.
There's Sonic Arrow right there. They see you.
Yeah, this is now you just leave. That was just super good dragon from Hanzo.
I'm gonna die if I don't run. Oh god, that was low.
Oh, everyone's dead.
Oh, we
Okay.
have 50.
I'm backing up. Here,
I'm trying to clean up my desk a little bit here. Go away.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good job. I mean, Junkrat's... I don't know why Junkrat's here. So, you got energy. Can you guys punish, though? I think... I can't decide if I like that you didn't reload here or that you should have reloaded. You know, it's kind of a toss-up. You only have 12 ammo, which isn't enough to keep fighting the Junkrat. And in this moment, right, you know exactly where he is, right? You have to rotate around this pillar. I think this rotation would take about 1.52 seconds, so this would probably be like the perfect time to reload. Thankfully, but you still, yeah, you bubbled Moira. Moira kills Junkrat, so it works out. I probably still would not fight this. You guys killed Junkrat, but your Diva mech's gone, Soldier's dead. Junkrat's spawn is a lot closer. Yeah, just leave. Yeah, you guys just need to get out. Good job getting free charge.
Moira.
Okay, Diva, you ready?
Yeah, you grab from the bottom and Diva will just drop from the top. Go, Diva, go!
I've got 2.
Okay, so a bit of a Hail Mary. You guys definitely...
You grab from the bottom and Diva.
I'm gonna see if the Orisa moves her shield. I don't think she does. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm trying to see the outlines of heroes. It looks like there's two. It looks like there's Torbjorn and Symmetra. Oh no, it's Orisa, excuse me. It's Orisa and Symmetra.
Distracted with me right now.
This would be the time to nanovisor for sure. Because if your soldier and Ana are on the high ground, when this Mercy starts valking, your nanovisor will just kill her. Ooh, okay. Looking really good. Team kill.
Fucking yeah, guys.
That was amazing.
Okay, wow, okay, wow, worked out, yeah. The overwhelming ultimate advantage, and you guys took it. So yeah. So yeah, like you said in chat, the kind of grab self-destruct were a little bit mistimed. They looks like some of them might have been able to get out before the self-destruct went off. Orisa, of course, can just fortify and get out, which is what we saw. But you personally, like as the Zarya player, you did a great job not staggering yourself, not kind of falling into the trap that your teammates were falling into, right? When your team was down numbers, you were falling back. You were staying back. You weren't dying. You're just doing your best to kind of get some free energy, get some free. You didn't need alt charge, but you were just kind of spamming away. So you did a personally great job. Right, your team had like 2 failed pushes, but you didn't die in either one, and I don't think in either one you were in the wrong place. Your team, Soldier's more mobile than you, Diva's more mobile than you, Junkrat's more mobile than you, and you kind of those were kind of the 3 people we saw kept dying because they're kind of going in from different directions than Zarya can do. So good job there with your positioning, staying alive, you're playing it well, playing the 2 CP well, if that makes sense, right? The best way to play 2 CP. And again, this is another tidbit from Jane's stream. Just group up as 6, press W, and go in and use your ultimates. And you just kind of rinse and repeat until you win. But to trickle, to stagger, and all that stuff, you're just going to be stuck in a 2 CP nightmare. So you were playing it correctly, and your team just kind of needs to, you know, play with you, right? Since you are just kind of the weakest link is the chain's only as strong as the weakest link, you know that saying. It's kind of the same. Your comp is only as mobile as the least mobile person. So if your team wants to go in and utilize Zarya's bubble, utilize her potential, they need to be where you are or be in line of sight of you. But as we kept seeing, right, people are dying off on the left, people are dying up on the high ground when you are trapped in main. I mean, if your team wants to group up and go on the high ground, that's fine. If they want to group up and go to the left, that's fine, but that's not what was happening. So you did a good job. I think the Graviton could have been a little bit better, maybe kind of close that distance. You could have dropped down the bridge on the right-hand side and kind of gotten closer to kind of see who you'd catch in it. Next time when you're fighting an Orisa, try and use the whole, once she uses shield, she can't move it trick, so you can get a better Graviton off. You guys mostly just won that through brute force, right? Overwhelming ultimate advantage. Right, you had Nano Visor, Junkrat Tire, Self-Destruct, Graviton. I mean, I think the only thing you didn't have was Coalescence, really. So you guys just had an overwhelming ultimate advantage, but you guys, you know, did the thing. You didn't necessarily group up, but you all went in and used your ults, and you won the point, which is just kind of how you win 2 CP. So good job there. Let's see this defense. I think you play Orisa on defense, is what you told me. So my Orisa VOD reviewing, guys, I've only done 1 Orisa VOD review. I've played a ton of Orisa, so I'm gonna do my best to review Orisa gameplay. If you think something's like clearly wrong or something I missed, feel free to say it in chat. You know, I want to be a better Orisa VOD reviewer. It's part of, you know, what we're doing today. So just help me out with Orisa, guys. If you think I'm, you know, did something right or whatever, you know, that also helps too. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna take a bite of my bagel. Hang on.
Hang back a little more. We're also close to the point if someone tries the back door.
Oh man, I burnt my bagel so bad. Rip. Alright, real quick, I want to talk about Hanamura defense from watching Evil Toaster OW. He's like one of the best Orisas. He's a really cool guy, really chill streamer. He plays tons of Orisa. Hanamura defense, I've seen him play it. He will shoot his shield, right? And then whenever his shield's off cooldown, he'll look straight up or whatever angle he's used to. I'm pretty sure it's straight up, and he'll shoot another shield. And so this shield, you still get all the health from this shield, and then the new shield comes down, and you get the health from the new shield. So really, you're reducing your shield cooldown from 8 seconds or 6 seconds, or whatever it is, to like 2 seconds. So if we watch right here, right, you're gonna place a new shield when the cooldown happens. But your shield still has 7 or 600 HP. So yeah, this is where Toasty, he would shoot, look up, shoot the shield, and then he gets the 600 HP from this shield, and then the new shield would come down, and his shield's almost back off cooldown. The Fortify also, you really have to treat Fortify like Projected Barrier, but without the whole idea that Projected Barrier gives you charge. Like, you know, when you're fighting, use Projected Barrier. I'm sorry, Personal Shield. I scratch everything I just said. Use Fortify like Personal Shield as Zarya. You use it to specifically protect yourself, right? Fortify it lasts like a stupid long time. It's like 4 seconds of 50% damage reduction. So and no CC. No CC can affect you, so it's a really, really, really strong ability, and it's not really that short of a cooldown. So you really have to get good value out of it. So right here we see, for some reason, I don't know what happened where we pressed Fortify, but you know, this is obviously, you know, not a great use of it. I think it works out because the Reinhardt, for whatever reason, he charges you anyway, even though you are fortified. So you kind of lucked out there. Well, he dies actually because of Bastion. So, but yeah, if you're scared of the Rein charge, then Fortify when you hear him make the sound, make the visual and audio cues, because just like with you know, shields, you want to make sure you get as much value out of it as possible, and those audio and visual cues are the way to do that. The double shield Bastion strat, man. Holy moly. You guys are, this is just mean. Oh my goodness. And they have a Taximetra. Yeah, you guys are smashing them. See, this Fortify here really doesn't bother me because it's kind of a we've won the fight Fortify, if that makes sense. You know, everyone's dead. You're basically just like, I can use this Fortify and be fine. Oh, so the cooldown of Fortify is 10 seconds. The duration is 4 seconds, and it doesn't go on cooldown until the duration is over. So really, the between Fortify uses is 14 seconds. So it's a super long cooldown, quote unquote, ability. So you really need to use it well.
Because my first 2 seasons, I had to wind up solo killing. Top right.
I can't see, I'm spraying right now.
Also, the other thing, guys, is excuse me, Bastion and Orisa will being good together for obvious reasons, like you know, shield and damage, right? Orisa's a shield, Bastion's a damage. You can also use the Halt ability, right? If people are like hiding behind this wall to like group up and go in to avoid Bastion's damage, that's where Orisa comes into play. It just turns into a shooting gallery. You just like, you can either halt. I would probably halt right here, and just I'm assuming people are waiting on the corner. You kind of halt right here, and you pull some people out of cover, and then Bastion just goes and just kills them, right? And you just kind of rinse and repeat this process to just keep stalling out time. And the other thing about Orisa Bastion is you can just straight up body block for him with Fortify, right? If this shield goes down for some reason, you like just stand in front of Bastion and just tank damage and then use Fortify, and hopefully Bastion can see past you and still shoot stuff. But that's another, like, that's just part of being a tank as Orisa, is you just sit there and you tank damage for your team if needed, because Fortify is such a good tanking ability.
I can't see, I'm spraying right now.
Don't worry, we got it. I'll heal you up.
To answer your question, Kirby, Zarya, yes. If someone is getting pinned and they run into Orisa, they will die.
If I get AFK,
okay, good. I'm glad you dodged that. You guys are triple tank Bastion? Oh, man. You guys are mean.
That Junkrat's going back up top right.
Just tap the damage boost on him every so often, and then
Jesus. This is why Bastion is such a counter to Zarya. He just blows up the bubbles, man. Yeah, so since you guys have your setup, right, you guys are doing the Bastion, triple tank, double shield strat, I want to see the Halt use. I want you to see more reserved with your Halt use to specifically like pull people out of cover, because this Halt that we see here, you're just kind of, I mean, you guys already killed Doomfist, right? So then you would imagine that they're not going to they're not going to push in, you know, 5 versus 6. So when we see the Halt there, it's not really accomplishing anything, right? But if we rewind just a second, right here, you see this there's a Zarya right here that's supercharged. She just used personal shield. If we had halted right here and her shield breaks, you pull the supercharged Zarya out of cover, Bastion blows her up, right? So really just, you know, treat Fortify like personal shield, and you can kind of treat like this isn't a great, you know, 1-to-1, but you can kind of treat projected barrier and Halt kind of like with the same mentality. Right? They have an 8-second cooldown, they have a lot of value, but you have to use it correctly. You have to see those opportunities and use it. So that's just like right here, right? She has no personal shield. She's in front of her Reinhardt. Boom, Halt right here. Bastion just blows her up. I don't know why it's frozen. What's happening?
Top right, top right.
I can't see. I'm spraying right.
Don't worry, we got it.
Oh, we skip back a little bit.
Click down.
That Junkrat's going back up top right.
just tap the damage boost on him every so often, and then
Don't worry, I got you, Bubble. I just one game right first.
Okay, I know I said before they have attack Symmetra, but I think they are specifically going attack Symmetra because you guys are running double shield Bastion, but then your third tank is Diva, which completely nullifies the Symmetra pick. So that's honestly hilarious. They went attack Symmetra to counter you, but then you guys have Diva to just eat her little orbs, which is really funny. Alright, so here, you have Halt off cooldown. It's 8-second cooldown, and personal shield's 10-second cooldown, so you can halt this Zarya right now. She doesn't have her personal shield back.
And no one died. It's the best ever.
105 ammo reload. It's not a big deal, because you were knocked up in the air or whatever, so that actually was a fine reload. I'm just kind of trying to pay attention to it. So ignore what I said, that was a fine reload.
Okay, I'm gonna.
This reload, though, 137, and there's enemies right here, that one was bad.
Flank him. Oh, that was bad.
Alright, so this is the part where you need to, wherever Bastion is, you have to pull people away from the Bastion. So probably shoot a Halt right over there.
I suck at asking help.
No! I'm oh god, where am I? I'm alive, I'm alive.
Shield, yep, you're gonna shield, okay.
No, I'm dead!
You guys were doing pretty well, and then you guys all got a little sloppy. Let's see. Okay, so Reinhardt should still have his shield.
Okay, I'm gonna flank him.
Yeah, Reinhardt has his shield.
Oh, that was bad.
He gets knocked back by Doomfist. Let's see what happens here. No, I don't know. He gets knocked back by some. Oh, concussion mine, which knocks him out of the way. Ryan charges in, hits Diva. Yeah, so target selection I think was an issue right here. So Ryan charges in. Orisa is great versus Reinhardt. You counter basically everything he does. You have Halt to stop to pull him away from you so he can't hit you with swing. You've got Fortify to stop charge. You just shoot him in the face with your shield. So I think the target selection was a bit of an issue here. You should have kept on this Ryan. I think I'm gonna say you stopped shooting at him because of the Zarya barrier, which that's totally fine to stop shooting at him, but you should still he should still be your target. Because right, he is now back there, just earth-shattering. Yeah, so then we go back to him, but then he's over here, and we're not shooting at him. We're shooting at this instead. So yeah, probably should have. I definitely think we could have killed the Rhine here. We can back away from this choke, place the shield. Again, halt people away from your teammates as needed. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a pretty messy fight from both teams. Yeah, over here to the right, I think your Mercy died, and you could have halted maybe to save her. It's hard to say, because we can't see. Yeah, you halted just in the center here, versus, like, this Reinhardt's chasing someone, and you want to halt him away, because these 5... Like, this isn't stopping them from doing anything, if that makes sense. They're all still shooting at their targets, versus this Ryan, or it was Doomfist, excuse me. Doomfist is attacking someone, but I can't see where he is. But the halt ability is like perfect for Doomfist, because he's trying to like get in close, and then you pull him away. Yeah, that Doomfist just smashed you guys.
I feel bad now.
Hey Vera, what's up?
I'm gonna make sure no one comes over the gap.
Ashton, which corner do you want here? Are you gonna go up top?
Yeah, halt is equally an offensive and defensive ability. You use it to make plays by pulling people out of position, and you use it to protect your teammates by pulling, you know, you're pulling people away from your teammates depending on the character. Like for example, by the way, Squirtlepone coming in with the 3-month resub. Thank you so much, man. Welcome back to the Auto Buddy, dude. Let's get some hearts in the chat for Squirtlepone. So like for example, just look at Genji, right? Genji really has the one movement ability, the dash, and then he's kind of stuck. He's got reflect, he's got double jump, etc. So think of like a Genji Dragon Blade. This is what I like to do as Orisa. When a Genji Dragon Blades and dives into my team, you know, he's trying to dash in, get a reset, and then just like dash all over your team, right? But as Orisa, if you watch him, right, he dashes in on someone, you halt him away from his target. Now he has no more mobility. He's just sitting there desperately trying to swing, trying to close the gap, but you as Orisa created the space to deny him the reset so your team can just turn and collapse onto him. I do it every time there's Genji and Orisa. I basically do it every time he Dragon Blades, because that's what every Genji does. They Dragon Blade, then they instantly use their dash. You don't really see too often. We saw in this game where Genjis will dash in Dragon Blade dash, but mostly they like dash in the air, Dragon Blade dash onto your team, and then they've used their mobility. So Orisa, or Halt is just great for those mobile heroes to deny their mobility. Uh-oh. So you bet you're wondering how I got here. Yeah, that sucks.
I tried shooting it
It's
down.
already flying you, don't worry. As soon as all your suicide higher, you can start flying you. We need our shield up here, shield turn right.
So just quick thing about your team. You guys are the double shield Bastion strat, but both of the shield users went away from Bastion. Like even before the Riptire. Like right here, Reinhardt's down there. You're up here, okay, so you're doing your job to be with Bastion, right? Because that's kind of the strat you guys are doing. But your Reinhardt's not here, and he would have been a great person to be up there because his Fire Strike can one-shot the Riptire. And if Reinhardt is up here with you, the Riptire comes, either Bastion shoots it, you shoot it, or Reinhardt shoots it. And the Riptire does 600 damage, so technically the Riptire can kill you and Ryan, but you have Fortify, so you'd probably live. But yeah, it's just kind of weird that... Yeah, right here, all the 3 tanks are down low, Bastion's up top, and the Riptire comes through. Yeah.
I tried shooting it
It's
down.
already flying you, don't worry. As soon as all your suicide higher, you can start flying you. We need our shield up here, shield turn right.
Let's look at this reload. I think we had a poopy reload here. 132. I mean, to be fair, there's no enemies around until you see the Symmetra, but did she sneak up on you, or did you know she was there? I think she snuck up on you. So, I'll give you this reload. This one's fine, because you didn't know the Symmetra was there. So, this is a perfect example of halt usage, right? Symmetra is she's fighting Ryan, she's trying to run away. You could do one of two things. You could halt right here to pull Symmetra back into Ryan so Ryan can just swing at her because she has absolutely no mobility, or you can pull the Symmetra away from Ryan if you're afraid Ryan's going to lose. I mean, in this case, I would just like halt right here and say, hey, you're going to die to Reinhardt.
I'm on the ground with everything that
Just kind of perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see, and you did it. Boom.
they are
How did you... Oh, I thought that was your Reinhardt for a second.
they are all there.
Okay, so a couple things about this little engagement here, right? So you killed 3, so you guys are winning this fight, and your Bastion died. Just reloaded, everyone's rezzing. So this is what this is a hard thing to learn as Orisa. It took me forever to learn this. Okay, just to be clear, everyone knows that shooting as Orisa slows you down, right? But sometimes, like, when you're approaching a fight and you're shooting, it slows you down so much that your positioning becomes terrible. So as you're running up these stairs, you're slowing yourself down right here by shooting. You're just kind of like hoping to hit something instead of actually hitting something. So you need to not shoot here. You need to run up the stairs at full 100% movement speed, and then place your shield and start acquiring targets. And the other thing is, if you manage to make it into the threshold, you kind of want to be right here, and your shield covers this door. You can then shoot a halt off onto the side here to pull like half of these enemies down. Right? If you pull Reinhardt down and you pull Mercy down, or you pull Junkrat down, or whatever, some combination of those, you've created a number scenario for your team's advantage. So that's kind of the ideal play here. Right? And then this reload's fine because, again, you're leaving the fight, you're not fighting anyone, so that reload's fine. You and Bastion need to reset up. Okay, so perfect. You're going back to your winning condition that you had. Oh, both of you, Bastion's in the wrong spot, and you unfortunately moved that a little bit. So this is the part where you just body block for your Bastion, right? He's outside the shield. You can also body block for your Supercharger. He's outside the shield. Your Supercharger's outside the shield. You just kind of want to sit in front of both of them, and when you start taking damage, use Fortify. 120 ammo reload. That one's, I mean, yeah, it's really not a bad reload, but if you're just going to be shooting up here anyway, you know, kind of ask yourself, like, why are you reloading anyway? You're kind of just delaying your when you start shooting, I guess. Reloading with Orisa is really tricky just because she has such a large magazine. Yeah, I mean, you guys Valked, I think? I think you guys Valked, so. The Doomfist apparently doesn't know that you can't knock a Bastion into a wall when he's in turret form.
I think I just think that's so they can actually can push the Bastion. I haven't tested PCR yet. They know they're facing like 7.
That Doomfist is feeding so hard.
I am pushing the back of Bastion.
Sorry guys, I took a bite of my bagel because I haven't eaten breakfast yet. Okay, so let's talk about halt usage on this bridge, right? So here's what I like to do as Orisa on this bridge. If an enemy team's pushing in, right, let's say they all group up as 6, you halt. No, let's let the halt move a bit so I can actually show you. You halt off on the side here, so you pull some of them down. The only ways to get back up from being pulled down is to walk under the bridge, come up these stairs, or to go outside and come back in. But if you manage to pull down like 1 or 2 people, you just reduce their numbers by like derp 1 or 2 people. So if they're pushing in, I like to halt over here on the side instead of just shooting into their team. And that's kind of the biggest thing Orisas do, is they don't respect this sounds meaner than it should be, but they don't respect the power of the halt ability. It's such a good ability. It's honestly Orisa's best ability with all the ways you can use it. So just shooting it into their team and just kind of pulling them back 5 feet doesn't really accomplish much versus everything that it could accomplish.
I am pushing the back of Bastion.
See, 95 ammo. Like, oh, so right here, she's in ice block. You shoot the new shield, and you start reloading right when she comes out of ice block when you have 95 ammo. So just another, probably didn't need to reload there. God, this Doomfist, man. Another reload, 131, when you know Doomfist is about to come back down. Do you have a video guide for using Halt effectively? No. I just finished my last Zarya guide, and the next thing on my list is a Orisa guide. Don't expect it anytime soon. Alright, so you need to shoot a shield over here for sure, just to kind of help out.
Somehow you lived through it. Somehow you lived through it.
Alright, so the reason I'm watching this again back is because I'm looking at your Fortify cooldown, right? So it's still orange, which means you still have it. So a couple things about Graviton and Orisa. Right, we talked about this, the reload, you know Doomfist is going to come back down. You do manage to shoot at him right when he comes back down, so you timed the reload well, but you didn't need to reload. So right here, with Graviton, just like I was saying, you can body block for your Bastion. Same thing for a Graviton, right? You just walk into this and just start eating, like if you put your body here, you're protecting this Bastion from a charge, right? You also have the shield, which I wanted you to shoot just to kind of add, you know, more nuisance to this Graviton to kind of make this difficult for the enemy team. So you have all these ways to kind of help your team out in a Graviton. Put your body there, and you're Fortify. You're already using Fortify, so you don't have to worry about using it. You just got to stand there, right? Because then you can maybe eat this charge, protect someone from it, put the shield down. If people are... So another example is if your Reinhardt puts up shield and people are trying to rotate around Reinhardt's shield, you fortify them back in front of Reinhardt's shield, just wasting their time, making that 4-second Graviton duration go down as much as you can before they can actually attack you. So Orisa has a lot of ways to defend her team from a Graviton, and I don't think we saw any of them here, but just in the future.
Somehow you lived through it.
Oh, so right here is another... Oh, I was about to say use Halt to bring her back into the fight, but that's exactly what you see. She's running away.
That worked.
Perfect. Perfect. That was good.
Back up, back up.
So that's grab then. And meteor strike, but...
I'm not sure if he has it yet, though.
So you can jump at that top on the right.
Have.
So you can jump at that top on the
Yeah, so you definitely had the right idea. Just when you're trying to halt people off of high ground, make sure that, like, think of it. Let's say this is first point Dorado, right? You know, enemies are standing here, and this is, you know, this is the bend. So the team's coming up this way. Don't shoot your halt like this, because then if you mistime it, it's just gonna pull them right onto the ground. You want to shoot it kind of parallel to the edge. So I know it's gonna look weird just drawing a straight line, but like rotate next. If you're really good with the depth perception of Halt, then go for it. Like I've gotten pretty good with it. I still make mistakes with it, but for the most part, I can kind of pull people off high ground. But if you're still learning how to use Halt effectively and you know the ranges of it, like walk up to the wall. Let's say again this is first point Dorado, and shoot your Halt like straight up. So the only timing that comes into effect now is like how high you pull them, right? Because if you pull it right here, you know, at least they're falling off. If you pull them up here, they're going to fall off, but they might be able to, you know, make it back, you know, within air movement. And so right here, this is kind of an example. You shoot it into the cover, so when you mistime it, he's just going to fall back on the cover. But if you had moved a little bit over to your right and shot the Halt this way, so it's kind of floating next to this big open space, no matter, even if you mistime it, he's still going to fall down.
Have.
Does Halt make a noise when you grab someone? I don't actually know. I've never really noticed it.
Junkrat's one on that top right.
Yeah, here, you kind of walked into the right spot, so I'm just going to pause it there. Right here. Yeah, look, this is a much better Halt trajectory, right? So anywhere parallel to this, he'll fall down.
Top right. I just can't see him anymore.
Yeah, yeah. See, and then you did the same exact thing, right? And you see, you know, he just falls right back down into cover.
But he might-
Hello.
Oh, I almost
yo on
Pushing
her
that
left.
right side.
Now, to be fair, just like we're seeing here, some cases you can't rotate over. Like this Zarya's up here. Yeah, I don't expect you to jump all the way down here and shoot it parallel to this to pull her down. This you just have to kind of get good at this point to pull the Zarya down.
Ryan's top left.
Move to the right corner.
Zarya's up here.
You just reloaded like a bajillion times. Oh no, you canceled your reload by shooting the shield. Never mind.
Ryan Zarya top left.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking to myself as your shield was getting low and you have your right now you have your shield cooldown back and your shield's sub 200 HP. You have to be on point with replacing the shield if you're kind of doing this all in Bastion strategy. So yeah, definitely a bit of a misplay here. You see the shield gets broken and you react to your shield being broken instead of reacting to getting your cooldown back, and I think your Bastion dies. Yep. That's a rip. And Mercy just rezzed you so she doesn't have Resurrect. Oh, she had to Valkyrie to res. Again, Fortify usage. Wait a sec. I think you were actually taking Farrah Rockets. Yeah, you were okay. Yeah, so that's a perfect Fortify usage. That's exactly how you want to use it, and at least one of the ways to use it.
I tried to rest that.
Uh-oh. Okay, let's talk about stalling as Orisa too. Right here, Orisa is amazing with walls behind her, right? So right here, you want to shoot a shield right, or let's, like this, and then sit in this pocket. So you make them come to you. You make, like, if in order for them, well, except for Reinhardt will just swing at you. But yeah, that's why you have Fortify to kind of stop his damage. And if he's swinging at you, just sit there and shoot him in the face. And then if he tries to charge you, you still have Fortify. And then when you have this Halt back, you pull him away from you to kind of make him commit more. So if you're going to run onto the point and stall, utilize your terrain, utilize your shield, and all your abilities to kind of be the biggest pain you can. But you just kind of run onto the point here, and everyone's just hitting you or can hit you for free when you could have put a shield down and the cooldown could have been coming back at this point. But your diva makes a huge play, so that's good.
Jump right on the right.
Hey, what can I say except
Guys, look where Dunk bumped me up to.
that's perfect.
I was gonna. You missed the Halt. You had the right idea. You just gotta work on the aim a bit. But yeah, that's you were gonna pull him back to get him killed, but he died. So
Hit scan can get you still, or don't get tired. But that's
even though your Bastion is in a cool spot, he's actually in a really bad spot because again, your team is only as mobile as the least mobile hero. So there's no way. Like,
Ryan on the top.
oh, this is yeah. So yeah, this is just a get good with Halt's moment.
Ryan on the top. Going around to the right.
I'm afraid for your Bastion, man. I think he's gonna. Alright, so here's a mistake. Fire in the hole, and then you start reloading. That is on you because you put yourself in a reload animation where you can't shoot. So that's bad. If you hear a fire in the hole, even if you have 10 bullets, don't reload. Just try and do your best to shoot the tire. Wow, you got lucky.
There's a mate here.
Cody, your shield.
Man, you're reloading so much. You just reloaded like 3 times in the span of like 10 seconds. And like, to be fair, you're reloading in way better spots than your last VOD review because you're not reloading mid-fight. Like, people aren't surrounding you and you're reloading, so that's the improvement. But again, it's just different with the Orisa. You have so much ammo, you can really just waste tons of it. And while you're quote-unquote wasting it, you might be getting chip damage, building alt charge, creating opportunities. Like, you could be shooting at the Zarya, she's forced to pop barrier, then when she pops barrier you can pull her down because you know she doesn't have that cooldown. Like, you just have to kind of get used to just having this giant magazine. Will Fortify help you survive tires, assuming max AP? Yes, it will.
I don't have who's gonna heal me?
Okay, perfect Fortify. Better Bongo.
Oh, the man behind us.
I got
Okay, this is all so far. This is all really good from you.
Koji.
I'm just starting over to go back to the beginning of the fight. Okay, we see the shields in good spot. The graviton, I don't know why she did that grav, but and really good job not fortifying right as graviton hit, because you're kind of, you see I'm fine, I'm safe, I'm not in danger, I don't need to use fortify, so good job holding that cooldown. You reloaded though, which you didn't need to do. I think you have 100 ammo. I definitely did, yeah, 107, so didn't need to reload. Fortify the charge, which was really good.
I got code out with the
You almost started reloading, I heard it, but then you canceled your reload by shooting a shield. Right here, you see the animation for reload happening with 71 ammo left, but you cancel your reload animation while shooting the shield, so you almost did a bad reload, but you saved yourself.
At least make sure they run out of time.
Perfect. Okay, you're playing this. Yeah, the biggest thing still is kind of, and this is just this is a bigger risk thing, is reloading. But for the most part, you're playing this pretty well, minus the time you didn't replace Bastion's shield. That was a bit of a hiccup, because especially if that is your guys' strategy, you have to be on point with replacing the shield. So, good game.
I got all my ult at 92.
I'm trying to think of your Zarya play now. I think the graviton was probably the biggest thing, and the target selection wasn't a big thing. It's probably the second thing, but I think this is a huge improvement from the last VOD review. So that's a big positive there.
Oh my god, his body.
Yeah, I mean, just have to work on the halt usage. Add a little barrier tricks into your arsenal, like shooting it straight up, using the terrain to your advantage, and that sort of thing. So thanks, Caden, for the VOD submission. Hope this was helpful, and let's move on to the next one. Thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. Check out these two other videos on the left hand side, and be sure to subscribe by clicking that button on the right. If you like all of this stuff, you can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and of course YouTube. All the links will be in the description below. Again, thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a good one.